Have you been involved in a Virginia car accident and you're wondering what is a statute of limitations and how do I make sure that I don't blow it? Well, watch this video and learn. Hey folks, James Abrinio here, owner of Abrinio Law, your Northern Virginia personal injury and criminal defense law firm. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about something that's super important when it comes to any personal injury car accident case, but frankly, any civil claim that you may have. But this one obviously is going to be focused on personal injury and car accidents here in Virginia. And we're going to talk about the statute of limitations, what it is, and how do you make sure that you don't blow it. So in order to do that, we're going to have a few slides up. So the first one is entitled Statutes of Limitations. It's the deadline to file your case. So what this really means is this is the end-all be-all. If you don't file your case in time to meet the statute of limitations, your claim is outright barred. That means that you've waived it. It's no longer more. You can't come back and ask for additional time unless there's something very unusual, and the courts are very reluctant to grant that. So you need to make sure, in order to meet this statute of limitations, there's really two significant requirements, and this is just a foundational video. If you have a civil claim, and you'll see I'm going to note this in the video, you need to talk to an attorney and make sure that you have representation because this stuff is complicated. The first is that it's properly filed in court. And the second part is that it's against the proper party or parties. And we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but to meet your statute of limitations, it has to be properly filed in court and properly against the right defendant or defendants. So as a threshold matter in Virginia, when it comes to personal injury claims, generally speaking, and specifically when it comes to car accident claims, the statute of limitations are typically 2 years from the date of the accident, the date of the accrual of the action, when the impact happened, when you were injured. Now, to be clear, this is the general rule. There are other exceptions. For instance, if you're a minor, the statute of limitations is going to be longer because it's not going to start running until you actually reach the age of majority, which is 18. And there's other instances where the statute of limitations is told, but again, you need to talk to an attorney about your specific facts to see if those apply. But also, I want you to be clear, in some instances, there's going to be requirements before the statute of limitations in car accident claims that may need to be met so you don't waive your claim additionally. So I point out two examples. The first is if you have a claim against a county defendant. So let's say, for instance, you're rear-ended by somebody that works for Fairfax County. There's additional requirement, and I referenced Code Section 15.2-209 that says that if you look at that statute, it says any and all claims against the county or other entities within those localities, you have to actually provide certain notice within 6 months of the alleged incident, the alleged injury. I also provided Code Section 8.01-195.6, which are claims against the Commonwealth or essentially state actors, and whether or not those are going to apply in your case. Again, you're going to need to speak to an attorney, but you just need to be aware that there's a statute of limitations, but in some instances there's actually other deadlines that you need to be met. Now, the next slide is what you need to make sure so you don't actually blow it. So the first rule of thumb is if you've got a personal injury claim, reach out to an attorney to talk about the specific facts of your case. I will say that for the most part, in the personal injury practice world, at least in the attorneys that I know, we typically will do free consultations. And what that means is you'll call us up or you'll come meet with us. Sometimes you'll do video conferences, really just depending on everybody's preference. We'll actually review the case with you and give you our thoughts about the claim, the prospects of it. We'll tell you what the statute of limitations is, at least from our research, and if there's something weird about that, we'll let you know. So make sure to talk to an attorney because it's important. I want to be clear. Don't rely on insurance companies to represent you. Many times I'll get calls from individuals that were injured many months ago, many years ago, and they've been working with an insurance company. The insurance company says, hey, just submit all your bills and records. We'll get it taken care of. And they call me, a couple weeks before the statute of limitations, and they say, well, I'm good. the insurance company's taking care of it. Well, I want to be clear, the insurance company isn't your friend. They don't represent you. And I've seen of situations where they're trying to run out the clock. Essentially, they'll have you believing that they're working on your case or analyzing your case, and just before that statute of limitations, the prospective client, who I've talked to multiple times, different clients, they'll tell me, I then got a bad offer. So you don't want to be in that situation where you're left essentially holding the bag, and then I, the attorney, don't have enough time to even get involved because they've essentially ran out the clock on you. The next point I want to make is start early. At least in my firm, Abrinio Law, we could require at least 3 months on your statute of limitations, really, before we're going to consider your case. There are some very limited instances where we'll help out in shorter time frame, but usually we need at least 3 months. I actually prefer 6 months because that allows me to do the due diligence in order to investigate your claim, analyze issues in your claim, identify the proper parties. Sometimes there's issues that need to be looked into to see if you have a viable claim. Another thing is you want to make sure that you have enough time to identify the proper defendants to sue. And when it comes to any lawsuit, you've got to be aware that the defendant is going to try to avoid liability, and so they're not going to be your friend. So you have to assume that the insurance companies who are ultimately going to pay it aren't on your side. And the last thing I would say is don't procrastinate. If you've got a potential claim, you're getting calls from the insurance companies, or maybe you're not, but you know that you want to at some point seek out advice from an attorney, my recommendation is go ahead and get that done. There's no reason that you should be waiting. If the claim is important enough for you to potentially go to court over, it's important enough for you to do your research, but also just pick up the phone, give a couple attorneys a call, and like I said, most of us do free consultations, so you don't want to be left in a situation, and I can't say it how many times I've had people call me weeks, sometimes even days before statute of limitations, telling me, hey, I've got this serious injury, I was relying on the insurance company, now they're not willing to offer me money, and I've called around a bunch of other attorneys, but nobody can take my case, and I have to say, look, I can't help you out either. It's too close to statute of limitations. If I accept your case, I then blow it, you're going to then be blaming me, which it's a fair thing to do. But unless you give the attorney enough time to do due diligence, you're going to be left essentially with a fire that you can't expect other people to be put out. So hopefully, if you found this video useful, our goal at Abrinio Law is to educate the public. Even if we don't ultimately represent you, our goal is to help people be educated about their rights and their situations. So feel free to share this video if you found it useful, because if you found it useful, I'm sure friends and family and colleagues will find it useful. Also, if you have more questions, do your best, reach out, comment below. You can send us an email. I'm putting my contact information up here. You can follow us on social media. You can do all those things, but reach out. I may end up shooting a video based on good questions that I get. That's how I generate content, is I run into an issue. I think that's a good question. Let me do a quick video about it. Again, our goal is to educate people, and the best that we can do, even if we don't end up representing people, if we can help you make a better decision about your legal situation, even if we don't represent you, we think that we've done a great job for the community. If you have any other questions, make sure to check us out at www.abriniolaw.com. Give us a call, again, 703-574-4180. Follow us and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. We'll look forward to working with you.